I'm Father Bob Stoker, rector of the Guardian Angel Cathedral in Las Vegas, Nevada, coming to you with another one of our weekly reflections. This for the 29th of August in the year 2021, as we continue to move through the Sundays of Ordinary Time. And this week, as we meet the conflict that Jesus meets with the religious leaders of his time, it brings us to a point of asking ourselves, what is real religious practice? In Jesus' day, he gets in trouble with the religious authorities because he believes that opening the heart to the fullness of who God is the key to union with God, not just the mere observances of external law. So the argument takes place over the ritual of hand washing, which he doesn't force his disciples to observe in a ritual way. We might think that sounds strange in our COVID-19 world, where we've been talking about the importance of washing hands. For the purposes of this passage, though, it's not so much about hygiene as it is about observing a religious practice. And sometimes in our own spiritual lives, we can become more attached to spiritual practices that are peripheral and lose the heart of the spiritual practices that are central to us, like the celebration of the liturgy itself. The Eucharist, our church teaches, is the source and summit. The liturgy, the living work of God's people gathered at prayer, is at the core of where we find our identity. And while other prayer practices may bring us peace of mind, may even bring us closer to God, we can never let them eclipse the importance of the centrality of this central prayer practice in our lives. For the gospel, it is that sense of opening our hearts and softening them, of opening our ears that allow us to really perceive and hear who God is and what God calls us to be as we walk along the path of faith with Jesus. That's really what's at the core. And the mere prescriptions of the law, while they served a purpose in the formation of God's own people, could also just become mechanical practices devoid of that central act of opening hearts toward God. You might even think, as we're at the tail end of the summer season, about what happens with the sunflower, how through the course of the day the open flower always bends itself to where the sun is. In our own lives, our spiritual practices are supposed to do that as well. So keeping central the practice of the liturgy, of the Sunday celebration of the Eucharist, and making sure that that remains at our core is the surest way to allow that to continue to happen, regardless of what other prayer or meditation traditions we might also want to include in our daily lives. Wherever you are, we hope you're turning toward the reign of God and are keeping well. We want you to know that we here at the Guardian Angel Cathedral keep you and your families in our prayers. We invite you to do the same with us until the day comes when one day we can gather together here at the Guardian Angel Cathedral.